He's, please give a big round of applause. Mr. Saad Salman and Mr. Karan. They've all come here to give you information about Physics Wala. You must have heard nowadays. Yes, when you scroll on Facebook and Insta, you must have seen their ads, right? So they've come to, give you a little talk on your career options. Whatever questions are in your mind, after the session you can ask. You can raise your hand and ask. If you want, they are still here for 2-3 days. If you want more conversations, they'll be giving you the brochures. You can contact them for further information. Go and give this brochure to your parents. And if they want to come back with more information, you can contact them. Right? So I hoped to see the best of behavior today and listen carefully what is being told. Okay, guys? Thank you.
Good morning. How is everyone today? Great. How is everyone doing today? Alhamdulillah. Nice, nice. That's wonderful. So before we begin, my name is Atir Hussain, and ma'am has already introduced me. She's been really kind. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction and the opportunity to, meet all of you. So how many science students here today? Science. Nice. Commerce? Okay. Arts? MashaAllah. Nice, nice. So the best thing is that you guys have already chosen what you want to do in life, correct? Now it's probably just a little more clarity required, exactly what is going to be the next step, right? So for the same, we have with us Mr. Saad Salman with us, okay? So he's been in the education industry for the past 7 years now. He's been counseling students, helping them, mentoring them, and he's already mentored more than 50,000 students till date, right? So let me invite him on stage, and he's an alumni of IIM. You guys know IIMs? Yes?
I don't know. Indian Institute of Management.
Perfect, perfect. So IIM is one of the, yes. So IIM is one of the most prestigious institutes for preparing for management, right? So business. So he's done his MBA from there, correct? So for engineering, which is the top college? That everyone knows, nice. For medical, which is the top college? MashaAllah, very nice. Okay, so now you know for management, which is the top college. So more information, more light will be given to you, okay, on this subject by Mr. Saad Salman, okay. So just at the end, we have very limited time, so we'll just be giving you a sneak peek of all the information that is there. But we are going to be here for 2 more days, like ma'am said, so we'll have a one-on-one session as well. We're open for that, so that we can help you in a much better manner. So we'll be circulating the brochures, and there'll be a form that will be sent. So whichever student is interested to know more can fill up the details, and we'll get in touch with you and book a slot with you, okay? So over to you, Salman. Thank you.
Thanks, Atir. Hello, everyone. How are you all? Little bit more energy, please. I also need energy. Perfect. So, all of you guys are in 11th or 12th? 11th. Okay. And you guys have already chosen your streams, like I think this side is science, commerce, and then arts, is it? Perfect. So how does it feel to have last 2 years of school life now? Yeah? You miss it? How many of you guys are excited about college? College. A lot of them. So the classes 9th and 10th were less excited about college. They wanted to stay in school for longer. Some of you guys, yeah. Right, so it's great. College life obviously is very different. A lot more freedom, different friends, different places that you guys will go. Right. School life has, I'm sure, has been wonderful since the time you guys have had been conscious. Probably you've all been attending school, right? For year, day in and day out, year on year, and so on. Right. So make the most out of the school life that you have. Right. Make sure you have some fun. The friends are again going to be the friends that you make here. You're going to have them forever. These are your lifetime friends. Some of my closest friends are still my friends from school, right? So make sure you have some good fun, bond better, right? Apart from that, it's a very interesting and most important years of your life, right? This next 2 years are very, very important and critical. Not to add any pressure, but has a lot of impact on what you guys will be doing for the next 40, 50 years or more, right? So this, not to add stress, but yeah, it's definitely very important years of your life, right? So make sure that you guys are able to dedicate this time and study well as well, right? But before we get into that, I want to understand what are the different careers that you guys have already decided on, right? So how many of you guys, let's see, how many of you guys want to be lawyers? Four guys want to be lawyers. How many of you guys want to be pilots? No pilots? The 9th and 10th had a lot of people who wanted to be pilots. What about engineers? 4, 5, 6. Okay, what about doctors? Weren't you guys from commerce and arts? Okay, so how many of you guys are confused? The most section of people are confused, right? So that's perfectly all right, guys. You've made one sort of selection already, whether to be in science, commerce, arts. So that that gives you a sense of one or some career paths, narrows down a few things maybe. But the number of possibilities and the career options, right? You have too many career options that you can choose from. It's not the end. Confused is the right state of mind. I remember being in your shoes. I've been confused myself, right? Studied to become a doctor all my life. It was my childhood dream, right? So then I came in 11th and 12th and said, oh, maybe medicine is not my thing. Let me not do medicine. Then I said, okay, let me do backup. I had PCMB. And I said, I'll study engineering plus medicine as well, right? So in 12th, even though I got a seat in, I had a medical seat, I said, no, okay, let me not take this. I went to engineering. Then again, different career choices. In engineering, should I do computer science engineering, biotechnology, computer science, coding, mechanical engineering, right? So some of these choices even you guys will have to make. So chose electronics and communication. Then again, went into work for a year, right? Then wanted to do management, did my MBA after that, right? So shifted care. Then again, after that, wanted to do my own startup sort of a thing. I wanted to do own business, went there, then came back. Ultimately, I've settled down to what I really love the most, what I'm passionate about, what I'm interested about, right? I do believe education is a way that can transform lives, is a way for us to better our lives, right? So, and hence I'm in the education sector now. Love talking to some of you students. Anybody who comes to me for any guidance, etc., I'm happy to play a small part in it. So that's about me, some small introduction. Also, it's okay to be confused, right? So this is something that you guys have already said, a few career paths. So we'll talk about a few careers. A lot of you guys are more aware because you're in 11th, have some understanding already. But because of science, we'll spend some time. A lot of you guys are in science. We'll talk about some engineering and medical options that you guys will have also, right? We'll also talk about commerce and arts as well. So the next piece is you're in 11th, like I mentioned, very important years of your life, right? The way to move forward is to understand what is the most important goal for you guys, right? So what is your most important goal in 11th and 12th? I can't hear you guys. Get 95 and above, okay? What else? Somebody else. Score 90 plus in board exams. What else? What else are your goals? Being the main character for. Okay. So main character in your life. Okay. What else? What else should be your goal? Anyone? So she says money. Okay, valid, but money is going to come a little later. But yeah, again, 11th and to be a doctor. Okay. Perfect, right? So all are valid answers, right? But if you ask me, what should be your goal? What is the main goal that all of you should be working towards, all of you should be striving towards, right? It's not just your marks, it's the college that you will get into. Your goal should be to get into the topmost college in your respective careers. All right? Why is it important? For job, okay? Good education. A round of applause for somebody who said job. What's your name? Aisha. Round of applause for Aisha. What else? What else? Why should your main goal be top college? Better education? Okay, what else? Reputation. Yeah. So one of the top 3 reasons that come to my mind, right? So the first reason is the brand or the reputation of the college itself, right? So 10, 15 years down the line, nobody's going to ask you, what are your 10th marks, what are your 12th marks, right? Do they ask you, even in my introduction, Arthur never mentioned my marks, right? He mentioned my college, right? So the important thing to note is 10, 15 years down the line, the college that you go to will be the most important parameter, is something which is going to carry throughout your life, right? I still carry mine, right? After 10 years after my college, right? So I still carry it. So the important piece for one is the brand, okay? Right? And whichever stream, it has to be a reputed brand in that career stream, all right? The second one, right, is friends and network or the peer group you will have. All the top colleges, okay? All the top colleges you go to will attract all the top talent. Agreed? So the best of the best will go to the best of the best college, and the entire group of people, friends, tend to do better, right? Hence, the peer circle, the learning, the interaction, the social circle, right, is going to become very important. Hence, the second point is network and peer group. All right? The third important piece was what somebody mentioned, the job, right? Do you know how many colleges there are in India? Any guesses? How many? So there are more than at least 1.5 lakh colleges, at least more than that, right? So the number of so do you think top companies can go to all of these colleges for hiring people? Not possible, right? That's why top companies tend to only go to top colleges, right? And hence they know that the top students are there. They know those are the top colleges, then they hire from there, and hence it's easier for them. It's not to create a distinction or to be unfair to anybody. It's just that they have limited time and resources. They have to go to the top colleges. That's how it works, right? So a lot of these top colleges, let's say Google and Facebook, right, or Stripe, let's say Flipkart, all of these companies, right, tend to go to the top colleges. If you talk about Google, Facebook, Stripe, and some of these companies, the salaries can range as high as 1 crore a year, right, Indian rupees, but, right, so as high as 1 crore, right, so that's why some of these guys who end up going to some of the most premier institutes are extremely successful, right? So that is one bridge for you guys that will help you get successful quickly. Not to say that you wouldn't do it otherwise, but that's one of the easier ways compared to maybe a different route, all right? Clear? Agreed why top colleges are important? So what should be your goal for the next 2 years? Top colleges, right? Absolutely. Okay. So next, let's go to so how do you build a career plan for yourself, right? Some of you guys are confused. Some of you guys have chosen doctor, engineer, lawyers, architect, multiple fields for yourself, right? So the way to analyze is to understand what are your strengths and interests, right? What is it that you really enjoy doing, right? So there are days you'll be going to be working for very long hours. There are going to be days which will be stressful, right? But if you don't enjoy your work, you're not going to like it. So it's important to align your skills and interests as well, right? One way is to probably take a few personality-related tests for yourself, right? That's one way. The second is you yourself know that I'm probably good at this. I enjoy doing XYZ thing, right? That's another way to identify, to assess yourself and identify 2 or 3 things that possibly these are the 2 or 3 things that I want to do, I'm good at. All right? So that's the way to look at from a career perspective. Map your interests and strengths to 1 or 2 career plans. All right? Clear? So let's say, for example, somebody is good at how to understand how things work, very good at maths or let's say problem solving excites them, right? Then engineering is a field for you guys, right? Somebody has a bent of mind of really helping the society, don't care about long hours, but have satisfaction, a sense of satisfaction that comes with some sort of helping someone, right? And then you're, let's say, have a great attention to detail, you're very skillful at what you do, right? So doctor could be another way for such people, right? Somebody might be good at communication, a great storyteller, very good at maybe debates, right? It's not about whose voice is the highest, it's about whose argument is the strongest, right? So in that case, maybe lawyers is a field for you guys, right? Then every field has its own nuances, right? So that's one way to understand. And a lot of you guys will build a lot more interest levels, skill sets, etc. So don't be worried, oh, I don't have this particular strength or I don't have it, etc. Right? So that you will figure it out. So the first step is clear. The second step is to then figure out how do you get there, right? So the first step is identifying what career. The second is the top colleges we spoke about, right? For your respective career field, you have to start figuring out which are the top colleges in your respective domains. So do research and understand them, right? So now you have a path laid out for you guys. Then what should be the next step? What is the third step then? Working hard. What else? What else? What else? What else apart from working hard? Actually do it. Yeah, of course, yeah. So, you obviously have to, all of you guys have to believe in yourself. Believing obviously is important, right? So after you've identified the top colleges, what happens is next you have to identify what is required to get into those top colleges, right? It could be entrance examinations. What is it that these colleges require? What are the test patterns? What are the syllabuses, right? You want to identify that and then get it going. Once you've identified all of this, right, half the job is done because you know what it is that you want to do, right? And now is the time to do it, right? You guys are in 11th. People start doing this from 6th, 7th onwards as well. It's okay. But now is extremely high time that you start thinking about these steps, all right? So make sure that you identify which are these top colleges, which are the entrance examinations, what are the syllabuses, what is it that you need to do, all right? And one common thing in some of the engineering, medical, lawyer, and some of the fields, okay, is entrance examinations. All of them need entrance examinations to get there. Do you know if somebody scores 99%, right, what are the chances of getting into a top college? Scholarship. So what do you think is the weightage given to school board results in admissions to top colleges? What weightage do you think? 80, 50? 10 to 15%. Anybody else? 40%, 50%. What else? Yeah, what's your name? Who said 0%? What's your, what? So, round of applause to both of you guys who said 0%, right? She got it right. It is 0%. So your 10th and 12th marks have zero correlation to whether you'll crack a seat in a top college. It's surprising, right? And a lot of you guys did not know about it at all. You knew? Okay, right? So perfect. So a lot of others who did not know about it, it's important to know that school boards will not help you just get into a top college. School boards are very important, no doubt about it, but you will have to prepare for entrance examinations. Do you know why entrance examinations are important? Look, one is to obviously to get a college. What else? Why do top colleges rely on entrance examinations and not school boards? To identify whether you're eligible, yes. What else? To develop? Very valid point, right? So, one is, what's your name? Round of applause to her. What it means is, there are students from different boards, right? You guys are CBSE boards. There are state boards. Every state has a different board. There are ICSE boards, right? There's so many boards. And there is no real way to know somebody who's got, let's say, a 98% in CBSE versus somebody who's got, let's say, 95% in ICSE or a state board. Are they equal or less or more, right? Can you just compare them both on the same level? Not possible, right? That's one of the reasons why top colleges have always come with entrance examination, right? The second reason somebody said was to see if they're suitable or not, right? What do you mean by that? The top colleges want students who not just know what, let's say, how good you score in a subject, right? But they also want to know how strong are your basics, how strong are your concepts, right? Are you able to apply whatever you learned to real life problems, real life solutioning, right? Because when you get into work, that's what you want to do, right? You have to actually build solutions to problems, right? These are basics that will help you solve it. Hence, actual concepts, application of those concepts are very important, something that these colleges test, and something that you guys must pay a lot of attention to. All right? That's why entrance examinations are important. Karan? So that's the 0% weightage, right? And apart from that, entrance examination also help you build problem solving skills, right? They help you build character. What is character? A lot of things that you achieve later on will be basis the discipline that you follow, right? The consistency is often underrated, right? Consistency of studying regularly, consistency of doing things recurring, right? Maybe let's say as simple as exercising. It's very difficult, right? Doing it consistently is very difficult, right? That's the kind of character people who crack these entrance examinations show, right? And hence, these are very important exams which you should take it, even if irrespective of most of them you anyway have to get in top colleges, you will take it, but helps a lot in the future as well. All right? So now let's talk about some specific courses and fields, right? You guys are in 11th, you might already know. So if you know a few pieces, maybe I'll try to go faster on it, okay? So everybody who's willing to get into engineering courses needs to write JEE main exam, all right? 12 lakh students write JEE main exams, 12 lakh students, all right? For seats for about 75,000 seats. So you can imagine the level of competition, right? And these exams are used for admissions into NITs. Do you guys know what NITs is? So National Institute of Technologies, right? So there are about, some of the very top ones are, let's say, NIT Trichy, Surathkal, Warangal, etc. Some of the NITs are very popular, right? Then they're also used for admissions to triple ITs, right? So triple ITs are Indian Institute of Information Technology, all right? Triple IT Hyderabad is very popular, okay? So even they use JEE main exam for their admissions, okay? And the next, other state level top colleges such as Punjab Engineering College, Delhi College of Engineering, RVCE, Osmania, right? A lot of these colleges also rely on JEE main exams for engineering. Then, which is the most important engineering college that you guys mentioned earlier? So JEE main does not help you get into IITs, right? What happens is the top 2.2 lakh students who clear JEE main, the top out of the 12 lakh, the top 2.2 lakh students, right, are eligible to write JEE advanced, and from them, people are taken into IITs. One of the most premier institutes, a lot of people, prominent people are from IITs, right? The Google founder, the Flipkart founders, the Snapdeal founders, a lot of companies are being built by IITians. So guys who've really been smart, worked hard and got there, all right? So next piece is BITSAT, right? You guys have heard of BITS? So Birla Institute of Technologies, right? Those are other ones which are prominent. So they have a different examination called BITSAT. Now coming to the most important part for you guys. How many of you guys know what DASA is? 1, 2, how many? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The others who are in science should absolutely know this for sure, right? Can somebody tell me what DASA is? Yes, right? It's direct admissions for students studying abroad, right? So all of you guys, kids of NRIs who are studying abroad, are eligible for this scheme, right? So there's a different quota for DASA students, okay? So about 2,300 seats are reserved for students studying abroad. But not all of these seats are very good, but the top 450, 500 seats are very good ones, right? So these are the ones that you can crack. You'll have to compete with a lesser pool of people, right? Instead of the 12 lakh, you'll be competing with people here, right? Could be 15, 20,000 sort, so, right? So that is the difference. So that is very important information for you guys, that you guys who are willing to do engineering or in science can compete for DASA. The second important information is CIWG. How many of you guys know CIWG? Not bad, 2, 3, right? What is CIWG? Correct, right? So CIWG stands for Children of Indians working in the Gulf. Okay? So this applies to all you guys. So all of you guys whose parents are you're in Gulf, right? Studying in Gulf, your parents are working in the Gulf. It's for them, right? So under DASA, 33% of the seats reserved are for CIWG, right? So I said about 2,300 seats are there under DASA. 1/3 of it is in CIWG. I said about 500 seats are good institute seats, right, for engineering. 150 of those seats are a part of CIWG. All right? Clear? Clear about DASA, clear about CIWG, right? Perfect. How many of you guys are planning to study abroad? Quite a few hands, right? Okay, so for students studying abroad, SAT is one examination which is mandatory if you want to get into US and Canada. Extracurriculars is another thing that's valued a lot for students studying abroad. All right? That's the other piece. So students planning to study abroad, typically students prefer going for the masters. But if you guys are planning to go for your undergrads, then SAT is a must for US, Canada. You have to write IELTS and TOEFL to prove your English proficiency as well. All right? Let's move to the next piece. NEET. So are you guys aware that there are a lot of decent number of hands that went up for medicine, right? Are you guys aware that you have to write, all of you guys have to write NEET for medicine? Right? So about 20 lakh students write NEET exam, 20 lakh students. For MBBS seats must be around 95,000. Then there are additional seats for dental, Ayurvedics and so on, right? So it's that competitive. And if any of you guys are planning to study medicine abroad, got it. Even for you guys, you have to write NEET. Provided you want to come back to India at any given point to practice medicine. If you've not qualified for NEET and go abroad, you will never be allowed to come back to India and practice. All right? So you have to write the exam, qualify for the exam, then you can take up a seat in whether Eastern Europe, anywhere else. But once you're done with it, you have to write another additional exam, and then you can practice in India as well, typically. All right? For the rest of you guys planning to do medicine, NEET is super important, super critical. Start preparation as soon as possible, right? So start preparation, study well for some of these entrance examination. Like I mentioned, most of them don't have any weightage for school boards, right? So, but again, school boards are important, guys. All right, we'll come to that. Let's move to the next piece. This is a bit of a table for what are the available career options, right? Just to give you guys, there are way too many career options out there for you guys. So some of them, let's say if you guys choose PCMB, you know PCMB, engineering and medicine any which ways, but let's say you want to do dairy technology, pharmacy, agriculture, animal husbandry, right? Or let's say PCB students can also do Unani, dental BDS, right? Diploma in nursing, BSc in microbiology, BSc in zoology, botany, chemistry, all of that, right? All of those are options for you guys. Then somebody who's taken only PCM, again can also look at architecture, right? Planning and design, BTech we anyway spoke about as a part of engineering and so on. Then there are next super specialities which are IAS, etc., which is after your bachelor's, right? All right? Is anybody planning to do IAS? IAS, UPSC examinations, IAS officers? Does somebody know what IAS is? Okay, so nobody wants to do it, so we'll skip that part. Go to the next. Right, now is the commerce piece. You're from commerce? Okay. So for the commerce students, till recently there was no entrance examination, but now that's changing. Now there is CUET exam, which is Common University Entrance Tests, which are conducted at all university levels. There are top colleges in commerce that you guys can try to go for. SRCC is one of them. Delhi University based some colleges are very popular, right? Stephenson's, Calcutta, Christ in Bangalore. There are a few very, very prominent commerce related programs, right? Those are ones you can definitely look at, right? Some of the MBA colleges also have bachelor's program in commerce. So those are important top colleges that you can aspire for, all right? All the commerce students. CUET, identifying which are the top colleges in your respective for commerce. Great careers can be built from commerce, chartered accountants. I can talk about a few of those pieces, right? So are you guys aware of what a chartered accountant does? Okay, great. You guys are already studying commerce now, right? So you guys are aware of accounting, business studies and all of that. Perfect. So everything related to business, economy, some of those fit into commerce. Great colleges, great careers being built. Some of them, a lot of them end up doing MBAs, CA, chartered financial and CFAs, etc. Right? So great careers who go into financial analysts, taxations, valuations, mergers and acquisitions, and so on. All right? So then there are other courses such as law, hotel, and all of those. This is a chart for commerce and arts, right? So it talks about different arts, humanity courses such as political science, sociology, psychology-based ones in arts, right? How many of you guys want to be lawyers? Right, so there are about 3 people who've raised their hands for law. So CLAT is the examination, entrance examination for lawyers, right? And NLS, NLUs, right? National Law Universities are the topmost ones. NLS Bangalore is the top one that you guys should be trying and competing for, all right? Then there are a lot of other courses here. Architecture, BCA for commerce students, BCom, CA, CS is company secretarial and etc. Right? Those are multiple fields that are available for you guys. The trick is to identify the top college that you guys want to go to and work hard towards it. All right? Next. So, what is the difference between a school and an entrance examination? Yeah? MCQs, negative markings, okay? Right? So one is the syllabus is the same, right? So school boards are very important. Don't ignore your school boards, for sure, right? The syllabus is the same. Does the application base is different? The difficulty level is higher, right? So those are the differences. But does not mean that school boards are not important, because the concepts, etc. you learn in school boards are again going to be used in entrance. So typically you will be doing well in both. The important thing is to make sure that you're studying for entrance examinations as well. All right? Make sure you're studying for entrance examinations. Next. So what are the mistakes that class 11th and 12th students make? Right? So one is focusing only on school boards, right? So don't do that. Focus on both, right? Both are important. Second mistake is forgetting 11th is, you would assume that 12th anyway, I'll score in 12th boards. How does my 11th marks count, right? But that's not true. Entrance examination will have 11th and 12th testing both, right? Hence the concepts you study 11th are important. Anything you want to do later also, these things come back haunting to you. So make sure you're studying these things well. Right? And the other piece is obviously make sure that you guys go for, start preparing for these entrance examinations. You can do them online, go study on them on YouTube, online courses. We are a player who does this, right? We have more than 15 lakh students in India studying online with Physics Wala. offline centers, about 1.5 lakh students studying. In now with Knowledge Planet, we have our offices in UAE. We're doing online specifically for the Gulf students as well, right? But irrespective of wherever you go, right? You don't have to come to us alone. You can go wherever, but make sure you start your preparation for entrance examinations. Right? So, before I hand over the mic to Atir, who will take you guys through some of the pieces for us, I just want to make sure, I just want to wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you guys for being such a engaging audience. I'm sure you'll do extremely well in your careers, right? And I just want to end with the one note that I've heard from someone tell me, the schools that you go to, right? The schools that you go to is decided by your parents, but the colleges, the career that you go to will be decided by you guys, right? So work hard for it, enjoy, but make sure you make the most out of your next 2 years. Good luck, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Salman. Thank you for this wonderful session. So, how did everyone like it? Everyone's drained out, I think. No one found it exciting. How did everyone like it? Good? Alhamdulillah. Nice, nice. So, now all of you are in grade 11th, correct? Okay. Hello? 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 Little louder. Hello? You guys can hear me, right? Great, great. So you all are in grade 11th, correct? So what is exactly the starting point that you need to start preparing for these competitive exams? Because I think now you have understood that wherever you go, be it abroad, be it in India, be it commerce, be it science, be it arts for that matter, there is a competitive exam that you'll have to prepare for or give that competitive exam, correct? That is not something that you can let go of, right? So when should you start preparing for it? Now? So do you feel that this is the right time that we should start? Okay. And as I could see that, few of the students already have certain amount of idea about these exams and certain quotas. So what is the syllabus that is going to come for these exams? 11th and 12th. So is that why you feel that you should start preparing for it right now? Okay. Why not a little earlier? Why so late? Okay, so to give you another sneak peek, right? So like how Salman rightly mentioned that there are around 20 lakh students writing NEET exam, 20 lakh students writing CUET, 12 lakh students writing engineering exam, correct? Right? So these students are not only in India, correct? There are students from around the globe. They can be from Saudi, they can be from Singapore, Japan, wherever there are Indian schools, Indian students preparing, who want to come back to India and take this competitive exam, they'll be writing it, right? Okay? So for these exams, students have actually already started preparing from 6th grade onwards. Correct? So that is the mental capacity that the students have actually thought of, and they've already started preparing. So there will be people or peers who are well prepared right now, right? Correct? So I'm not trying to demotivate anybody. It is just that we'll just have to put in a little more effort in terms of preparations. We are not late. We are there on time, but it is just that we'll have to work more smartly and more quickly. Correct? So we'll have to take that decision really soon. That is where KP by PW comes into picture, right? So we've been preparing students for the past 12 years, okay? And especially we've been able to cater to students in the Gulf. Because see, the education that the students that are getting in India, or the preparation that is there in India, is not the same here. Let's be very honest with ourselves, correct? The fire in the, like I said, students are preparing from 6th. Here you guys are actually thinking to start preparations right now, correct? So that is the, mental capacity that the students are thinking there. So that is one of the major differences. The other difference is that their students are very clear because the environment is such. Here people have everything, all the facilities, etc., right? And the fire in the belly is slightly not there. I'm sorry to say that, but that is a true fact, right? But when we are competing with them, if that is something that we can ignite ourselves with, no question that we can crack this, right? So just to give you a sneak peek, so she's gotten 99.6% in 10th board exams, and she's been studying with us for past 2 years. She's the Gulf topper, by the way, right? So even staying in Gulf, it is not impossible to actually get such marks. Next, please. So these are the best ranks that we've gotten in JEE Advance, JEE Mains, and NEET exam. And this is the best rank that nobody has ever been able to beat, and this is again only for Gulf students, right? So 319 in Advance, 272 All India rank in JEE Main, and 501 All India rank in NEET, all produced by Knowledge Planet, right? Can we go to the next slide? So these have been our toppers in the JEE exam. And JEE exam toppers have always been from the Middle East. Let me put it that way. And they've been KP students. Correct? Next slide, please. These are our 5 years, consecutive toppers in the NEET exam. And not only this, we have toppers in the Kerala entrance exam as well. You know, they have a separate exam for medical and engineering. So we have toppers from that examinations as well. Correct? And this year, another feat that we've achieved is 27 students have actually scored more than 95% in the 12 board exams. And all these students are only in the Gulf, Middle East, by the way. These are not Indian students. If I include Indian students, then we have more than 15,000, 10,000 students who've cracked all these high-stake exams. Correct? Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, so we have the highest number of selections in mains, advanced, NEET, and even in boards. So why I'm emphasizing also on boards is because that is going to be your foundation, right? Like you rightly mentioned, and you are very clear in your thought that the syllabus that is going to come is 11th and 12th, correct? So whatever you're preparing, whatever your teachers are also teaching, that is one basic step that you're going to take in terms of preparing for these examinations. So if your basic foundation is not clear, you're not going to be able to crack these exams, correct? So by default, when you're preparing for these high-stake exams, you're preparing for your board exams, right? So that is why 0 weightage is given to your board exams. That is another reason. You're able to get that, right? So prepare for the high-stake exams, do a reverse calculation, prepare accordingly, and by default, you will get prepared for your board exams, okay? Next slide, please. So these are our core faculties that we have, right? So like how you have wonderful faculties who've been preparing you for the school curriculum completely. You have faculties who've been teaching for the past 20 years, 25 years, you know, they've been putting up so much efforts. So for the competitive part of things, if you look at our faculties, right? So we have Ms. Rafia who's teaching zoology, and these are one of the sets that we have. We have many more. We have Mr. Kiran Kumar, who's been teaching for the past 20 years. He's got more than 20 years experience. From IIT BHU, so we have faculties from IITs, NITs, triple ITs, from top colleges, you know, who've gone through that complete process, who mentor the students as well, you know, prepare them mentally, how well they can prepare in a much better manner and smartly, for that matter, right? Next slide, please. Right. Now, obviously, you know, inshallah, we will be, so we already have, physical centers in UAE. Inshallah, we'll be starting real soon for the next academic year in Saudi as well, and in Qatar, Oman, and other places, right? But we have an online presence, okay? So we are helping students in our specially created online, classes. We don't cater to a huge batch, like you would have seen a lot of, Indian students studying wherein you have 100, 200,000 students. It's a limited batch. And what we've done is, see, it's an amalgamation of technology, correct? Right? So we need to actually look at how technology can be a boon for us rather than, because during COVID we've seen that, correct? So that is where we are, okay? There's a lot of benchmarking tests we do. There's a lot of, specialized courses that we've created, even for commerce for that matter. I'm not only talking about science. So we specialize in engineering and medical, but we do cover commerce as well, wherein we teach accounts, business, economics, correct? These 3 major subjects, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to circulate a form right now, okay? Because we have very limited time. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to take questions. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a one-on-one session, right? We are here on Friday and Saturday, okay? So you can come with your parents. You can give in your details, whoever is interested, and we'll be glad to have a quick 30 minutes personalized session. Yeah. So we can have a personalized counseling round for all these students who are interested. And even if you're not able to make it for this Friday, Saturday, we are open for online sessions as well. Okay? So we can do that. Karan, this side as well, please. Yeah. So I'll request all the students, please, just fill up as soon as possible because we are just running out of time. Yep, we've overshot slightly. But how was the session overall? Informative? Wonderful, wonderful. So do take all the positive points from here. Okay, prepare accordingly, right? All the best to all of you. These are your two most crucial years, which is going to decide the next, 70, 80 years of your life, inshallah, right? So do well. All the best to all of you, right? And we hope to see you all soon, right? Thank you so much. Thank you.